Wido.
I'm Taka Hashimoto, 27 years old. I work at a publishing company downtown. Hello, I'm Hashimoto. I was assigned to do training for Miss Kanzaki. That would be you, right?
Yes, that's me.
I was assigned to do training for Miss Kanzaki. Apparently, she's the daughter of the CEO of a major corporation. Obviously, I couldn't screw things up here. Wow, she's so stylish, and those clothes look so expensive. If I wasn't training her, I would never be in a position to even talk to someone like this.
What is it? Is there something you want to say?
Huh? Oh, no. I was just impressed how fast you pick things up, is all.
This is quite normal. Anybody could do this.
Yeah. Right.
Have you been at this company long, Mr. Hashimoto?
Yeah, I suppose. Our family wasn't that well off, so I entered right out of high school. So, I guess it's going on 10 years now.
Excuse me? You only went to high school? Wow, this is the first time I met anyone who didn't go to college.
Yeah, right. That was very direct of you. That's how Miss Kanzaki was. Always direct. Said what she thought. For example, one day...
Hey, Mr. Hashimoto. That shirt you're wearing looks like it's seen better days.
Huh? This thing? Yeah. I suppose it's pretty worn out. Been wearing it since I first joined the company.
Excuse me? That's unthinkable. It's quite unsuitable in such a business environment. I suggest you buy a new one right away.
Yeah. You might be right. Sorry about that. On another day...
Mr. Hashimoto, I finished copying the document you asked for.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Is there anything else you want me to do?
Let's see. No, I guess everything is in order for now.
Excuse me, but, Mr. Hashimoto, what I'm doing now is pretty routine stuff, right? Copying and filing, that kind of stuff. I didn't come here to do that kind of work, you know.
Well, that's part of work too. You know, it's also important.
Of course I knew that kind of routine stuff is important too, but as you can see, I can finish up that kind of work pretty quickly. I would appreciate it if you would allow me to do some more meaningful work.
Yeah, right. Okay. I understand.
Okay then. I'm looking forward to it then.
Boy, who's training who? For God's sake. I bet it's pretty tough to have to train the daughter of the CEO of a major company. You can say that again. You want to take over for me? No way, man. Besides, we're not even in the same department. Not possible, buddy. That's Shingo Yoshika. He works for the same publishing firm. We're both the same age, and joined about the same time. I can't very well take over your job, but what I can do is take you somewhere nice. What do you mean, somewhere nice? Somewhere we can enjoy drinks and women. What? Are you talking about some kind of shady nightclub? That's right, man. You need some stress relief. Sorry. I'm not really into that kind of stuff. Come on, man. Don't be like that. Let's go. It'll be fun for a change. I don't know about this. Well, he finally talked me into it, and I reluctantly went along with him to this nightclub. That's when I realized why he was so persistent about bringing me here to this club.
Huh? Are you kidding me? You're...
Miss Kanzaki? Is that you?
What are you doing here? Shingo, how could you?
It's your fault, Miwa. You really shouldn't have treated my buddy so harshly.
I wasn't treating him harshly at all.
Hold on a sec. What's going on here? I immediately confronted Shingo about this weird situation. Are you serious? Why didn't you say something sooner? You never mentioned it before? Yeah, well, that would take all the fun out of it, right? It turns out that Shingo was related to Miss Kanzaki. They were distant cousins, apparently. Hey, Miwa, I know how impatient you can get and all, but come on. Don't be so hard on Hashimoto. He's doing his best.
I'm not being hard on him at all. What are you talking about?
We're here to have fun, so be a little nice to him, would ya? With that, Yoshia stood up and went to another table. Apparently, there was one girl he wanted to see in particular.
Well, now that you're here, what do you want to drink?
I guess I'll have a highball. A weak one, if you will. I couldn't very well just leave, so I figured I would at least have a drink first. Don't want to pry or anything, but why are you working here?
Yeah, well, I figured you'd ask me that sooner or later.
Weird if I didn't ask.
Yeah, well, maybe.
I don't see why you wouldn't want to say. Are you in debt or something?
No, nothing like that. I just want to be self-sufficient, independent is all. That's why I'm working here.
You wanted to stand on your own 2 feet? So you're working at a nightclub? Okay.
Yeah, my dad. He always looked down on poor people, says they have no value. As for a woman, he says they should just shut up and obey men. That's the kind of man he is. My father.
Her mother was from a well-to-do family, who married him through family connections. She has no other siblings. Her father was adamant that a woman marry and stay in the home, basically to look after the family and home. But Miwa wouldn't have it, and this led to hostility between the two.
A woman cannot stand on her own! That's a total disgrace! You'll regret it in the long run, Miwa!
Oh, I won't regret it. Mark my words, Dad. I'll establish a company that's way better than yours.
She had this huge argument with her father and left home. It was after that when she applied for the publishing company I work at. She did it all on her own, without help from her father.
The reason I'm working here is just to get a social experience and to make connections. Shingo told me that the owner of this club knows quite a lot of people. Business people.
What's with Shingo? Getting his cousin a job at a nightclub? I mean, really?
I'm really obsessed with fashionable clothes, and I hope to create my own line one of these days, and someday prove my dad wrong. And another reason is to help my mom out. She's been an obedient wife, never contradicting him, even when he verbally abused her.
I see. That's really commendable of you.
Huh? Excuse me?
Yeah, well, my initial reaction was, what's a company CEO's daughter working at a nightclub for? But after hearing your explanation, I understand.
Oh, yeah? Well, thanks for that. And could you not tell anybody at the office that I,
Work at a nightclub?
Please, I'll do anything. So please.
Our company's policy doesn't restrict having a second job. I think they allowed it from a few years ago. So she's free to do what she wants. But I guess she doesn't know that. Okay, so you say you'll do anything, huh?
Yes, that's what I said.
Well then, why don't we start out with a date this coming weekend? The following day. Are you serious? I figured she'd give in and say sorry, but instead, she agrees to go on a date with you? Man, I didn't know you had it in you, man. Yeah, well, it was nothing really. I just sort of tricked her. Oh, I see. Good work, bud. That's great. Yeah, I thought so too. I'm really looking forward to seeing her. The day of our date finally arrived. I was pretty nervous.
I hope I didn't keep you waiting.
Oh, hey, Miss Kanzaki. No problem. You're dressed sort of...
Huh? What's the matter? Am I dressed so strange?
She was dressed as if we were on our way to an expensive French restaurant or something. No, not strange, but just that you seem overdressed is all. It's just a date.
I don't think I'm overdressed in the least. I'm always conscious of what I wear. If I'm going to establish a high-end brand of clothes in the future, I have to wear them myself to really know their value.
I see. So this is like training for you, is that it? Okay, sounds good. Now, why don't we go to where we normal folk go? What do you say? I decided to take Miss Kanzaki to the nearby Oniglow clothing store.
Wow, the material is pretty nice, and the design actually isn't too bad.
Is this the first time you've been to a shop like this?
Well, I'm into these type of shops on occasion for research purposes, but only a couple of times. Whenever I try to enter a shop at a nice place like this, my father would reprimand me and tell me not to shop at these cheap stores.
Are you serious? That's not fun.
What kind of clothes were you looking for today?
Leave it up to me.
What do you think?
Yeah, that's more like it. You look great. How about you? What do you think?
Well, better than I thought, actually. The material is nice, and the fit is great.
Alright then. If you like it, we'll get that.
You're going to buy me clothes?
Please, just do as I say. I paid for the items, and we decided she'd keep wearing those clothes I bought her today.
I really should pay you back for this.
Forget about it. A little gift for going out with me today.
But I was supposed to do anything you ask for today.
Yeah, well then, I wish you would just do as I say. Let me buy you those things. No questions asked.
Right. You know what? You're a pretty amusing guy. You know that, Mr. Hashimoto?
The next place we arrived at was a big park where there were a bunch of kids playing, and some couples walking hand in hand.
What are we doing here?
Well, it's a nice day and all, so I thought we'd have a picnic. Help me spread this blanket out.
Yeah, right.
I made some lunch. Hope you like it.
Excuse me? You made that yourself?
Don't you cook at all?
No, not really. I don't have the time or the skill. I just buy takeout most of the time, or just go out and eat.
Really? Well, I sort of envy you for that, to be honest. Wish I could eat out more often.
Wow, this is delicious.
Really? You think so? I'm glad.
Tastes so, I don't know, homely, I guess. And this park is so lively. It's strangely relaxing. This is the first time I've ever been on a date like this.
I'm so glad you feel that way. That was my intention. At work, she was always so stressed out. I suppose it came from her wanting to get back at her father, and to somehow help her mother. I guess it showed. That's why I wanted her to relax, and just forget all her worries for the day. Oh yeah, I've been meaning to ask you. Why are you so interested in starting a high-end clothing company?
Huh? Pardon me? Well, it seems obvious, doesn't it? Clothes are better when they are high quality and expensive, right?
Yeah, I figured you would say that. But whose values are those? Are they really yours?
What do you mean, whose values? To be honest, I'm not sure why I prefer high-end clothes. I never even thought about it, really. I'm being like my father. It's like everything's about money.
Yeah, I kinda thought so too. But if you want to succeed in that kind of high-end world, that's okay too. But if you really like fashion and clothes so much, it just seems like a waste to just focus on high-end, brand-oriented clothes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, now that you mention it, I suppose that's true.
Nah, I'm just messing with you. I was just acting like a cool and experienced guy. Giving you a lesson. Don't mind me. I don't know anything.
Huh? You're so funny.
I've always been pretty poor, so I know a lot of clothes stores that are inexpensive. Long as it's not high-end brand clothes, I'm your man. I mean, I have a shirt I've been wearing for the last 10 years!
Yeah, about that. I'm sorry about what I said the other day.
Forget about that. It's true. It's seen better days for sure.
But it wasn't very nice.
Miss Kanzaki apologized for all the rude things she said to me. She explained that the reason she criticized my clothes wasn't because of me or anything. It was just her love for clothes that made her say that. Nothing personally towards me. It was more out of her desire to make her dream come true.
You know what? I not only want to show my father who I really am, but I want to better myself too. So I'm going to do it someday. Build my own fashion brand. So I sure would like your help going forward.
For sure. I'm not much of a teacher, but I'll do the best I can. After that day, we were no longer the new employee and the trainee. I continued to teach her the basics of office work, but at the same time, I did some research on my own regarding the fashion industry. I just wanted to be of help to her as much as I could. According to Miss Kanzaki, she said I was one of the best marketing reps in the company, and she wanted to learn everything from me. Besides work, Miss Kanzaki was discussing business with the owner of the nightclub she was working at. Several years later, Miss Kanzaki resigned from the company and started her own business. And I also quit, and nah, not really. I stayed at the company. But we kept in touch, and occasionally exchanged information regarding business.
All right then. See you at the usual bar. Boy, do I have an interesting story for you today.
You seem pretty happy with yourself today. Come on out with it then.
Well, it was a while back, but...
Wow, this nightclub sure has a lot of pretty girls. Bring the best stuff that you got. Drink as much as you like. I got all the money in the world.
Wow, you're super rich, huh? What line of business are you in, mister?
You ever heard of Kanzaki Holdings? I'm the CEO of that company.
Kanzaki? Did you say Kanzaki? Could it be... No way. Hello, welcome to my club. Looks like you're really having yourself a blast at your daughter's nightclub, I see.
Miwa? What the hell are you doing here?
That nightclub that Miss Kanzaki worked at when we first met? She owns it now. The owner retired some years back and sold her the place. She decided to continue to run the place, to stay in touch with everyday life.
I didn't expect to see you here, Father. How old are you anyways? Aren't you embarrassed coming here and playing with club hostess half your age?
You have no right to tell me that! All I'm doing is having a little fun with my money! And how about you? Running some shady nightclub! You're the one that should be ashamed!
Huh? Sir? Are you ashamed about being at this nightclub? And it's a nice place, not some shady place you make it out to be. Do you really know this place? And the owner, Miss Kanzaki, runs this nightclub and also runs a business as her second career. Yeah. Also, she gives us a lot of business advice, so we can also start our own business. She's the best nightclub owner a woman could ever ask for.
What a bunch of nonsense! You really think you can build a business and surpass me? You're being way too naive, Miwa!
All you've ever been interested in is money and woman. A pity you.
What did you just say?
Anyways, maybe this is a good opportunity.
Then she pulled out some photos and laid them on the table. They were photos of her father walking hand in hand with some club hostess. She was intent on having her mother divorce this man, so she hired a private detective to follow him and take photos of his infidelity.
Such a respectable gentleman. You really should be ashamed of yourself, Father.
That was just...
I don't want to hear any of your excuses, Father. The timing is just right. I'm going to send those photos to Mother right away.
Please, Miwa! Don't tell your mother about this! I beg of you!
You betrayed us for years. You're finally going to reap the consequences of your unfaithfulness. Well, this will be the last time you'll be having fun. May as well make the best of it, huh?
I later heard that Miss Kanzaki's mom filed for divorce right after that. And through her lawyer, she was able to win a considerable amount of compensation for her husband's infidelity. The mass media immediately picked up on this, and he was forced to resign his position as CEO. His various businesses also suffered financial losses. As a matter of fact, the bad PR caused by all of this almost sent the company into bankruptcy. Wow. I bet you didn't expect your dad to come to the club.
I know. I was so shocked to see him sitting there. But I knew he frequented such clubs, so I figured he would show up sooner or later. Anyways, I was able to exact my revenge on him, so it turned out great.
She was able to run her nightclub and various other businesses with considerable success. And eventually, she was able to establish her long-awaited fashion brand. Is this new fashion brand going to be some high-end expensive stuff?
No, not at all. It's fashion geared towards handicapped people. I want to make a fashion line that's affordable but also stylish. After volunteering at the local hospital and working with handicapped patients, I found that some clothes were hard to put on and take off, so I thought I would create something along those lines.
That's so cool! I love that idea! Her eyes were glittering with excitement as she talked about her new business. She looked totally different from when she was all hyped up about getting revenge on her father. She seemed so charming. If you're really serious about that brand, could I also help out in some way?
Funny that you ask me that. I was thinking about asking you to join me. If you would like, I would really appreciate it.
You bet. Don't be too hard on me, boss.
I'm so glad. Now I'll be the one teaching you.
I'm looking forward to it. I made my decision to join her company. We had a lot of work ahead of us, but I was excited about getting started.